Are you dragging your feet in math class? Are you finding it hard to keep math motivated? That's the story for so many math students. And in this video, I'm going to help you learn how to grab hold of that math motivation and learn how to hold on to it. And I also have a free guide, 5 steps on how to make math zen. So that way you can dig a little deeper and learn how to keep that motivation going all semester long. Hi, if you're new here, I'm Danielle and I'm a high school math teacher. And here on this channel, I love to share my best tips and strategies and of course, math lessons for students who are trying to make math more zen for themselves. So if you're a high school math student, definitely hit subscribe down below so you don't miss any videos coming up. Okay, so let's dive in and look at how to keep that math motivation going all semester long. So we're going to break down motivation. We're going to talk about it in 3 parts. We're going to define what it is. We're going to talk about where it comes from and how do we keep it. Okay, officially the definition from Britannica.com for motivation is forces acting either on or within a person to initiate behavior. Now, there are different variations of these definitions, but I liked this one with the word forces in particular, because now we can bring that over to the math world and relate it to vectors. I know many of you haven't reached this part in math yet, and that's totally fine because vectors is a very easy concept. Basically, when you add 2 vectors together, you're going to get a third vector as seen in this diagram. But what is a vector? A vector is a quantity made up of magnitude and direction. Magnitude meaning just how strong the force is. So if I have a magnitude of 5, that's how strong the vector is or how long it is. It can be a force. It can be a velocity. It can be a weight. There's so many different representations of vectors in the world around us. But for us, we're going to refer to it as a force because it goes back to the definition of motivation. So for us, we're going to define motivation with a formula, of course, because the mathy in me loves piecing things together with formulas. So the idea is this, like I mentioned, adding 2 forces will give a third force greater in magnitude, in size. So force 1 plus force 2 is going to equal some greater motivational force. And I have the little vector symbols down there for those of you who are studying calculus and do recognize the physics part of forces. Okay, now what do we need to know about motivation? We need to know that we don't have to like the action we are taking. For example, I need to be motivated to work out, but I don't actually have to like the working out part. I don't like doing chin-ups. I don't like doing 100 sit-ups, but I still have the motivation to do it because there's a greater purpose or reason behind it. Motivation is not fixed. So it's not a quantity you're born with and is stagnant. It's not something you do. It's actually something you have. And it's a force for you to take action. And when you find it, the good news is you can maintain it. So what you need to know is where does it come from and how do we keep it? All right, let's talk about force 1, where the motivation comes from. You need to know your reason why. Why are you doing what you're doing? If there is no purpose behind it, then you will not be able to find your first force, your motivational force. So what's the purpose? How do you relate to the world? Or what do you want to share with the world? Each of us is our own person. We are so unique and diverse from anyone else around us. And the way we can offer our gifts out to the world is like nobody else. So I want to just say congrats to you because you might not know your purpose right now, but you're here and you're starting to think about it. So you're in explore mode. You are dabbing into your passions and that's going to help you find your purpose. So let's use me as an example. Hi, if we haven't met, I'm Danielle, and I have multiple passions, many passions. I love painting, I love volleyball, I love baking. Obviously, I love math, I love languages, and the list goes on. My purpose has been defined or evolved over the years. It started out with teaching, and now it's gone to not just teaching math to students, but also doing it in a way that reveals their actual real potential in a way that they've never seen before. And I do it through mindset and strategy. So I make things very simple for them and tangible for them. So my passion for teaching math has redefined itself and evolved, or actually even refined itself over the years to where I'm at now. So let's get started. You need to identify yourself as something that will push you. Try this. List your passions, all of them, and start claiming I am statements. Things like I am an artist, I am a math person, I'm a connector, meaning you're sociable, you're social, you connect with people very easily. I'm a performer, etc. Once you have these I am statements, you will feel gravitated to identify with them and delve into them more. Now, identifying your force or your purpose, it's going to take time. And the more you get to know yourself over the years and the more you get to experience life, the more you will find that purpose that you want to hold on to and never let go of. Okay, so just think of this period in your life, in high school in particular, as explore mode. It'll be fluid and change over time. We've all been there. Now, identifying a good purpose for you includes passions that entice you and pull you in. You don't want to feel like it's something that's you're dragging your feet in. They want to be passions that are relevant to you, that have meaning in the sense that you understand why you're doing it. They want to be true to you and aligned with your values, not because somebody else wants you to do them. And I know that's a hard one because we have so many people imposing their values and thoughts on us, especially in the teenage years of life. And they want to be healthy. Like your purpose has to contribute to a healthy lifestyle. It can't keep you up all night losing sleep. It can't make you want to, I don't know, take on addictive behaviors. It has to go hand in hand with living a healthy, balanced lifestyle. Now, force two is how to keep motivated. Think of this force as your fuel. It's going to be the force that propels you and helps you sustain the motivation. Now, something to note here is fatigue in any way will kill your motivation or force. Fatigue is a dream killer. If you have a purpose, you have a dream, you have a huge goal you're chasing after, if you are fatigued in any way, then all is lost. So how do you maintain your second force? How do you maintain your fuel? It means that you're going to have to focus on maintaining a mental and physical well-being. So things like sleep, healthy eating habits, physical activity. If any of these need improvement, you just need to try in small baby steps to change them. Let me share some examples with you. I had terrible sleep for years. And so what I started to do was focus on routines before sleep, things to stop doing before sleep, habits that I could set that would help me fall asleep. I did a little investigating and I learned that by going to sleep at the same time every night will actually bring on a drowsiness or a better sleep. If I stop eating by a certain time, if I don't consume sugar really late at night, if I have chocolate after 9 o'clock, I ain't sleeping till 2 a.m. So small baby steps and things that don't feel overwhelming. Now, maintaining your force or fuel also means maintaining stress management and emotional awareness. You won't be able to manage your stress or anxiety if you are emotionally unaware of what your triggers are, what your limiting beliefs are, et cetera, et cetera. And this does take time. I have spent years trying to figure myself out and what my triggers are and try to work through them. And in order to do the work, you are going to have to put time into giving yourself a positive mindset, maybe journaling, self-help books, podcasts, therapy, whatever feels right to you in this season of life is what you should definitely take on to help sustain your stress management. All right. In order to maintain your fuel or your second force, you're going to have to do this all in small steps. And what that means is be kind to yourself. Don't let guilt get the best of you and break things down into little tasks. For example, if I have to clean my basement out, that's a huge endeavor that I definitely don't want to take on. So what I say to myself is, let's break it down into smaller tasks. Think of it as like a big project that I'm going to do over a month or two. And each, I don't know, week or weekend, I will do a small part of that project. And then hopefully over a few weeks, it'll get completed. Okay. So just break it down into baby steps all the time. Now, things that help me when things feel overwhelming and I want to get to the end result, but it's just a big hurdle, I think of these things. So I think of the saying, Rome wasn't built in a day, because that's true. So true. And there was once a alcoholic who I saw being interviewed, and they asked him, how did you get sober? He was in rehab and he was struggling, obviously, with his addiction. And the thing he kept telling himself was, I just need to stay sober for 1 minute at a time. And he said that 1 minute that he would get through would push him into the next minute. And then from there, the minute after that. And I have a mom friend actually who told me that she considers herself the baby whisperer, meaning she could put any kid to sleep. And the way she does it is really interesting. She tells the baby that they don't have to sleep. They don't have to sleep, but they just have to relax for 2 minutes and then they'll have enough energy to be on their way again. And so the baby accepts that. Obviously, the baby isn't 3 months old. The baby is maybe a year and a half, 2 years old, to the point where they can understand what she's saying. But she can basically hold them in their arms, bounce them up and down in her arms or rock them, and just reassure them it's only for 2 minutes and then you'll be on your way. And she says they always fall asleep. And it's almost like the minute you let yourself go and say, it's okay, it's only for this little piece of time, your body relaxes enough to let it happen. Another story I heard was about quitting cigarettes. So the idea is quitting a bad habit is going to be hard and it's not going to happen overnight. And it's not going to be, you're not going to go from 0% to 100%. It's going to be that idea where progress takes time and it's going to be messy. But the minute you fall off the horse, you don't guilt yourself. You don't blame yourself. You don't put yourself in a negative state of mind. You say, hey, I was trying. I couldn't do it this time. Let's get back on the horse and try it again. You start fresh. Next day, same goal in mind, try it again. And the other idea I heard was putting success in your way. So if I do want to work out every day, but I'm finding it difficult, I'll put it on my calendar. So I block out time. And then what I do is I set up all my workout gear, the music I want for the next day, the workout I want to do, and it's there ready to go. So that way there's little resistance on my end because it's there, set to go. And that's it. If you can hold on to force 1 and hold on to force 2 and work through those 2 forces, you will definitely create more motivation that is sustainable for you. I hope that sparked a little math motivation for you. And if you want to dig a little deeper on finding your math purpose and making it relevant to you, I have that free guide that I've linked down below for you. I would love if you could like and subscribe so I know these videos are exactly what you need, and I'm ready to cover any topics that you think might help you in your math class. I'll see you in the next video.